some Glazunov. There's the lick. And the Glazunov, we all know Glazunov, right? The answer to that is probably wrong. Glazunov is probably most known. He wrote the Glazunov Violin Concerto. He's a Russian composer, and he lived basically straddling the centuries from the 19th going into the 20th century. His Violin Concerto is really beautiful. Actually, I think it's not played enough. I don't know if I've ever even played it in an orchestra ever. I don't think I've ever accompanied anyone on the Glazunov Violin Concerto. And then there's, of course, the very, very, very famous concerto for alto saxophone. I was making sure it was alto saxophone because I didn't know if it was soprano saxophone. We are doing the Glazunov Concerto in E flat major. I know, I mean, once you hear the name, the tune comes right to mind, right? Inside this piece, it's actually written really awkwardly for the bass. There's some awkward stuff. So I'm looking at this fugue section. I believe it's right after the cadenza. Oh, and y'all, it has a lot of problems. I'll do it very slowly first, just to walk through. Yeah, so it's only mezzo piano, but it's quarter note, dotted quarter note, because it's in 12/8 equals 120. So it moves along. I'm not going to do it that fast for now, but I'm just going to show you what makes this awkward because of all the bowings make it awkward, and some of the string crossings and how the notes lie. They just don't lie well. So I'll do it slowly. So let's do just that much. So even this, the section you heard me go, because of the way the bowing works out, the accent ends up being on an up bow, which is weird. Just a little weird, particularly when it's so fast. So in that section, it actually says più moderato. I don't think the tempo actually changed there on the recording I have, but it's a reverse bowing. So it does one bowing, and then Zeus. Well, what's great about bowings like this is we have to just make sure our bow distribution is strong. So I use when I do and I don't want to go too far because I have to keep going. But I can go far enough because then I want to recover when I come back. And you see how I end up back where I started. And these are things we have to think about in order to play these things successfully. Otherwise, whew, you'll end up in the wrong part of the bow. It can become quite challenging. So let's just do this again slowly. So. Even that, this is just not a fun part, particularly when my closer's up. It's a little better now. Not a fun part of the bass because it's sometimes hard to get those strings to respond, and for the hand to be nimble on the fingerboard. You notice I did bring and I could tell right away that my string was up because it's just higher. And this brings it a little lower, so it makes playing something like this a little bit easier. So that's now I've got to try to keep it all in piano with the crescendo here. That's an accent on the down bow, but then there's no accent the second time. But it is forte. So, well, that's actually actually reminds me of something like, what is that? I think Lalo. Dum ba da 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 dee da 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 this duple against triplet. What I mean by duple, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the triplet would be dot 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 dot. So one of the neat things, one of the reasons why your teachers teach you about rhythm is because you have to be able to learn how to turn it on a dime. So this is duple then triplet. So duple, triplet, duple, triplet, duple, duple. And we want to be able to do that kind of thing pretty much on the spot. That might have, honestly, a little bit of the lalo in my blood because I'm playing it very martellato. I don't know if it actually calls for that, but it kind of works, particularly in the forte because everything else has been soft up until this point. So, and did I use an open string? Yes, y'all. I use an open string because it's in passing. And I use it, and I don't have to, but it just works out easier. I close that G, and that's another open. But again, it's also in passing, and it doesn't require any kind of cantabile feel. So that's basically it, y'all. I'm just trying to learn this fugue and get it up to tempo, because it's supposed to be pretty fast, and let's see what that sounds like. Close. That's a piano. Can you see where all the dynamics are in accents? You don't know this, and one of the things that I'm supposed to do as an artist is make sure that whatever's on the page is very clear to you, the listener, who may not have heard this before. So sometimes I have to exaggerate some of the dynamics and even some of the rhythmic, how I play things rhythmically, so that you could actually write it out if you didn't know what was actually going on. That's what I'm trying to do, to make it super, super clear for you, the listener, and then, or my colleagues, or the orchestra, and then of course the audience. So there are all these little accents, and you'll see me bringing them out. And I'm trying to stay, again, with things dynamics, because it's mezzo piano for the first 2 bars. Then there's a long crescendo, it's over 1.5 bars, to forte, and then it goes back to piano, which is the softest dynamic when I get to these accents. Then crescendo, and then forte, no accent there. This is a mini-window into something softer. Good, and that's how it works. I'm going to put this up to 100 and see what this sounds like. Even though it's soft, I use rosin so I can get teeth. When I mean by teeth, I can get bite. And when I mean by bite, I can get articulation even in the soft stuff. When I don't have a lot of rosin on, even though it's soft, it's hard to get that bite. So I like to have a little more, again, it's orchestral playing. So this is 100 and... Okay, so the rosin's a little fresh, so it's cacking a little bit. What I mean by cacking, it's like grab the string almost a little too much, but it's wearing, that'll continue to wear down with practice. What I don't like is when I move the bow too fast, I'm getting frustrated, y'all. When I move the bow too fast, I get non-notes. I hate non-notes. Non-notes is when you grab the string like this and it doesn't activate. I'm not a fan of that, and I'm making some, and that makes me very unhappy. Let's try it again. Yeah, I just have to make sure I'm just really conscientious. Because the thing is, I'm trying to keep it nice and light on its feet and do all the phrasing while trying to do the dynamics. I know, it's a tough life, y'all, I know. But I chose it, so I'll make it work. One of the other things that makes this confusing are all the different articulations. Because sometimes it's a regular slur. Sometimes it's like, this is not, it has a hook, so I actually have to articulate it. And then this is no hook, no articulation. Articulation, articulation, no articulation. So it's just being able to remember which one is a hook and which one is legato. That's also confusing. So this is up to tempo. Let's see if I can make this dance and be light and sound easy, even though it's actually technically challenging. It'll be a great little excerpt. Getting there. It's a work in progress. Because I think I'm able to keep the character. That's what I'm trying to do. Keep the character. Make sure it always feels light on its feet and never starts to bog down. The metronome helps keep me honest with that. And then get all these different colors and the accents. That's the hardest part. The other hardest thing is there aren't many extra bowings and stuff written in here based on what I'm reading. I'm reading off of a different part. So I just have to remember all the different rules. Okay, I'm quickly going to listen to myself and see what it sounds like, see if it's worth anything. And I'll do some comments and I'll see if this can make it to the gram. I want to see if I can wrap this up. And I think the biggest issue I was having was trying to get all these notes to speak. And to break it down even more, it's this lick. Make sure that it all comes out. That was better. So I actually, in my frustration, was looking at this just in my warm-up, and I think the issue, I was moving the bow too quickly on the soft stuff and the low string. And if I move the bow too quickly, it's just not going to speak. So I have to be really conscientious while also doing the string crossings and getting the strings to speak. It's actually difficult. And I do feel better doing this more closer to the tip because I have a little bit more nimbleness out there, and I can use my first finger to make sure I get that weight on the string. That was actually really, really good. If I can play it like that, I think I'm on to something. Almost. That was really close though. And to my ear, it was almost, it may have actually worked on that side. I don't know. Almost. So, and then that ending, I want to get out far enough. So use this to get out in the bow. And now take me back to the frog for the last two notes. So let's try. Yeah, so I didn't go back to the frog, but I went back to a place where I had control. So that was actually perfect. Yeah, that works. I think I might be close, y'all. Yeah! It's getting there, y'all. that was one thing I was getting really frustrated with yesterday, and then I just ran out of time. Let's see what happens. I'll record, and maybe this will make the gram. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching my channel. If you enjoyed the content that you saw, know I got other videos you can watch on different Instagram videos, a little bit of vlogging and mixed in there as well. So be sure to check it out. If you like what you see, even if you don't like what you see, why not? Hit that subscribe button. And be sure to hit the little bell icon, because when you hit the bell icon, you'll get alerted to every single time I upload my next YouTube video. Thanks again, and oh, check me out on TikTok. I've got a new account there, putting up some videos. That's a new area I'm venturing into, so be sure to check out my TikTok account, and of course, you can find me on Instagram, both at Weatherclef. See you next time.